Hi, my name is Ruby Reese, and I'm going to interview Melanie Bonilla for my communications class. Melanie, do I have your consent to interview you?
Yes.
Okay, let's begin with question one. How would you describe the communication style of your generation?
I feel like for my generation, I feel like that's when social media really started to come out. They came out with stuff, the small stuff. Probably um, now that you guys don't probably know or hear about it, but it's MySpace. Facebook started coming out pretty later, probably when I was in high school. Um, I feel like the communication style. I feel like we would have to go and knock actually at each other's doors to come and hang out or something. Could be like the laptops or like the computers that we had back then. We would have to use a lot of more email, and there was more apps that we could I guess communicate through. It was nothing too crazy, but I feel like the communication back then was very limited to what we have now. I feel like they were able to come out with more options like Skype and all that stuff as I got older. Probably I want to say high school, because I was provided with flip phones and we were able to text with each other and whatnot. But it's very different, and it was more like in person back then to what now a lot of people call more. They use their phone more to be, communicate with other people. I think it's very different to what it was then and now.
Honestly, you have a really good point there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you a different question. Question number two.
Okay.
Do you notice differences in communication preference between your generation and others? For example, face to face versus texting.
Oh, 100%. I feel like back then we would text more just because I feel like the phone calls and the face to face conversations, I don't know, I just feel like the difference between today's generation and my generation, it's very different. I feel like for us, simply it was more face to face because we weren't provided with that much social media and whatnot. And I feel like our communications was just, how do you say? Um, I don't know. I just think that there's a huge difference in when it comes to the both generations, because the generation now, you see, I have little cousins and little nephews and whatnot that they're always on the phone, they're FaceTiming, um, constantly calling on roadblocks and everything, and I feel like that's just the way they communicate nowadays, and it's crazy because we weren't provided with that when I was younger. Yeah, we were able to call, but it wasn't how it is today. Literally the quality of the phone calls are totally different now. So it's crazy. I just think in between all, it's just crazy to think how different the communication is from when I was younger to now.
I really agree, cause I'm Gen Z, right? And I
Mhm.
didn't see any of that till I got into middle school slash
Yeah.
elementary, like the end of elementary. So now it's more bigger, especially for little kids now, because they use, like you said, Roblox, FaceTiming, and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it has gotten big compared to back then when I was in elementary. Because in elementary I only used my computer and I only watched TV.
Yeah, and there was
Mhm.
a lot of things that they provided us with, Disney Channel came out with a little, I forgot what they're called, the little disc where they watch the movies, and that's what
Mhm.
I'm used to, all the disc and the DVDs and all that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question is question number three is: do you think social media has improved or harmed intergenerational communication? Why?
I feel like social media has, honestly, it has its pros and its cons. I think the majority of it just depends how people take it. For me, I feel like I've taken it in a very positive way. Yes, I've had, the negative impacts and whatnot, but I feel though as, um, whenever I see something negative on social media, I see it, and there's times, where I've done the negative, it's pretty bad, but I feel like I always flip it and change into the positive. I feel like social media plays a big role on how people's behaviors are, or people's moods change, and how people view the world. I feel like that really plays a big role in how society views the world. And I feel like it does do more harm now because people will follow what their role model says, or what their like celebrity that they look up to, and I feel like that really sucks. But that's what social media is. People are gonna look up to other people. People are gonna follow other people's actions and whatnot. And I feel like yeah, it does do more harm, but it just depends how people take it. And I feel like I do like turn it into like a very positive way. That's my intake on it, I would say.
Yeah, low-key same. I feel like now it's more positive, but I feel like for the kids, like it's a negative way
Mhm.
because like they're so like used to it now
Oh
than
yeah.
how we were like back then because back then we were limited to like these sources. And so yeah, I think it's like for us like a positive way because we
Yeah.
communicate with like people.
Yeah, and then back then, like, we were able to see, like, how much, social media has regressed. And yeah, we were that generation where everything hit all at once. But I feel like I've learned to put everything into a positive way, have everything into a positive impact in my life from social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. Question number 4. Can you share a time when generational differences caused a misunderstanding or conflict?
Um, let me think. Okay, so maybe I would say, like, when it comes to communication, and I feel as though, like, okay, the one time I did send, like, a message to, like, one of my tias. She's a little bit older. Okay, she's a little bit older. I thought I was being, like, like, I sent a message, and I was being very, like, sweet, straightforward about, like, the birthday party message. And I think they thought I was being rude, but, like, I don't know if it came out something bad or something, because I had sent, like, a message, I was saying, like, a date and everything. But I had put an exclamation mark, and people take that very wrong. And I was super excited, I was like, oh, like, you're more than invited, like, whatever. But they took it wrong, and I guess, like, nowadays, and, like, I guess, a little bit older generations than me, their communication style is very different, so I feel like I have to be more, like, um, understanding. Mm-hmm. So, like, I feel like that plays a big role. Like, you have to, like, learn how to text different generations. Like, you guys can text in, like, all caps and everything. Like, I've had a little sister, she's 17 as well. So, I would say, yeah, you have to, like, be pretty, like, uh, understanding of, like, the different communication styles. It's very different. It's very, very different. I feel like that causes conflict, but, like, not intentionally.
Honestly, I can relate to that because I feel like an exclamation mark shows that like you're mad or like you're yelling at someone because that's very true. Yeah. And then like especially like you said like older generation like they think like you're yelling at them, but like in reality you're just showing that you're excited or happy about something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that actually happens, and or like sometimes like the younger generation are like, oh, like that's why you're like yelling at me or something. But
yeah, or like sometimes like my generation, I know we use a lot of periods, and like some people will take it like wrong, and I'm just like, oh, like I'm just finishing my sentence.
yeah, like you're mad. Or,
yeah, and my little sister said it before. Like I'll be texting my little sister. She's like, why do you use a period? I don't know. Or the dot dot dot. I do that a lot, so I don't know. But, yeah.
Okay, so question number 5. What values do you think are most important to your generation and how do they influence communication?
I would say my generation values. Honestly, I feel like they're just honesty is something very big, and respect as well. I feel like they influence in our everyday lives. To be completely honest, I feel like the values that we carry like encourage us to communicate openly. Like we want to listen for others as like they're speaking and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we also like tend to be more like I would say I just think in all we're just try to be like comfortable with other people. Um, I think just influencing others, especially you guys, trying to be the role model. Just try and be respectful as possible when it comes to communication. I feel like a lot of you guys, I feel like whenever I'm texting you guys, sometimes it could be a little bit more like slang worded usage. I feel like us as role models to like texting the way that we have to communicate with you guys is just like respectful, comfortably, but like also like modest in the words that we use because I feel like being able to communicate like respectfully plays a big role in how you guys would like respond to us. So I don't know. I think that simply I feel like just being respectful, truthful, honest, and open about like everything in general. It just plays a big role in like how important the generation needs to like communicate or that's I feel like needs to be influenced.
No, yeah, I feel like people need to respect others.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the key thing to do, like
Oh
is
yeah.
to respect others
100%.
and make sure they understand that you're not mad or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so question number 6.
Okay.
What advice would you give someone trying to communicate effectively with your generation?
Honestly, I feel like we were one of those generations where we just be honest, respectful, and honestly just very clear with your wording. I feel like don't use slang. Like simply,
Mhm.
like sometimes like you guys will be talking, I have no idea what you're saying. Genuinely, like I will be talking to you guys and I'll be like, oh my god, what are they saying? And you know what? I have some slang for mine back in the days, but it's not that bad. So I would say, um, to be completely honest, just be open and texting, email, social media. I feel like we use those. I feel like we were more. Um, I feel like we're just taken back to like using emails a lot more. So I feel like that's why we're really good at using emails. Like somebody emails me, you gotta email them back. Just like
Mhm.
I respect so I feel like it's important to be able to listen and being willing to listen to other people and have a good conversation with others. So I feel like just being attentive as well.
No, yeah, I agree. Cause like slang, okay, I feel old, but like sometimes I don't even know what some slangs are, and I
Yeah.
ask like, oh, what does this mean? And they tell me, like I respect, like I actually do care and I do want to know what it
Yeah.
is. Or like sometimes younger generation would ask me what something is, and then I would tell them. So yeah, I feel like it goes like both ways to like respect and have honesty towards one another.
100%. Yeah, I agree. Mhm.
Okay, so last question.
Okay.
Question number 7 is, what do you wish younger or older generations understood about your communication style?
Um, I feel I feel like I was in the middle again. Like I said, I feel like I was in the middle generation where I was presented with technology, but also like from like an age like where I was already getting a little bit older. But I also got to learn life and grow up with life without technology. So I feel like um, I wish they could, one thing I just wish is that they could understand that using technology doesn't mean like everything. Like you can do
Mhm.
things with technology, you can do things without it. And I feel like a lot of technology has been able to provide us so much communication between others that it like creates relationships. People will end up together on the phone, and I've seen that where my little sister is a high schooler. She tells me this, and it's crazy, but that's how they start. And I feel like it's just a misunderstanding that like how do you say it? Well, basically using when we use texting and social media, I know they're convenient, but you still want to be able to value good um, communication, like conversation. Sorry, you want us to be able to have good communications and conversations with family, like face to face. I feel like that's very important. Like a lot of technology and just in general, social media plays a part of like oh hey, how's your day going? Or hey, how's this going? So like it's again like face to face, how you act, your body language, the way you speak with your eyes, the way you speak with each other. I feel like that's really good, and I feel like I just wish that people just wouldn't lean and like just count on technology as much as they do nowadays. I feel like you have to like have that. Hey, I want to see you. Like let's get together. Um, just so you can see like you know how much you really care about each other. And not saying that technology doesn't like require these like type of things, but my mom lives far away. She lives 14 hours away from me in Kansas, and I'm more than blessed to have technology in my life to be able to FaceTime her and whatnot. And that's like one of the like pros of it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like whenever I can see her, seeing her face to face is something that I cherish forever in my life.
Mhm.
So I feel like that is just beautiful. It's one of the beautiful things that I get to experience with people. So don't. Simply, my advice is yes, use technology, but use it for the good of it. Don't take advantage of it. Don't overdo it. But also like take time to like be with family, be a face to face person, cherish your moments. And yes, the communication is beautiful, but use it in the best ability that you can. I think that's what I would say.
That's a really good answer, and I really agree because people shouldn't rely heavily on social media. They should
Mm-hmm.
like go out and like see people face to face.
Yeah, and it creates connection with people, of course.
Mhm. It really does.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, well, I think this is it. Thank you so much for participating in my interview.
You're welcome. No worries.
Thank you.